Hey, what's going on, y'all? Tyler here with Tight Lines and High Tides, bringing you another surf fishing video. A common question that a lot of fishermen ask, especially as they're getting into surf fishing, is whether or not they can be successful catching fish using artificial lures. And the simple answer to that question is yes. You can certainly be successful catching fish using artificial lures. As a matter of fact, I pretty much always have at least one rod rigged up, ready to cast at a target if I see the opportunity arise. However, before you just go throw any lure out there, there's a few things you need to know first. And in this video, we're going to talk about all the different styles or types of artificial lures that are available to you, ones that we recommend for surf fishing, and provide some product recommendations within each one of those groups. So, if you're ready to learn more about surf fishing using artificial lure, you're going to want to stick around for this entire video, and we're diving in right now. When it comes to surf fishing using artificial lure, there are basically four different major categories that we're going to talk about in this video. And those are your hard plastic lures, your spoons, your jigs, and then your soft plastic lures. And within each one of those categories, there are actually subcategories that we're going to hit on a little bit as well. So within the hard plastic category, we're going to start basically from the top of the water column and work our way down. And the first thing on the list is going to be our topwater lures. The first type of artificial topwater lure that we're going to talk about is going to be your walk the dog type lure, and it's pretty much my favorite type of topwater lure that I use out on the beach. I'll put another link up here and in the description down below of another video we did that kind of rounds up all the different types of topwater lures that we like to use. But the two #1 lures that we like to use when it comes to surf fishing for that topwater are going to be your Heddon Spook and your Rapala Skitter Walker. So the Super Spook is probably my #1 favorite when it comes to topwater. And Heddon makes about 4 different size variations of the Spook series. And that's going to be your Super Spook, which is the larger one. This one I'm actually showing in a yellow and chartreuse color, really good color out on the beach. I love red and white. Here's another one in the red and white holographic, really great color, really great size lure. And then we can step it down a little bit to the Super Spook Jr, which is a slightly smaller variation. This one is in the bone color. And then in between that, we have another red and white in the Zara series, which is pretty much in between the sizes of the Super Spook and the Spook Jr. There's actually one other one, and that's I think they call it the Puppy, which is even smaller than the Junior. All great lures by Heddon, and really love those lures. I like to keep a sampling of all those different sizes and different colors, just in case I want to go toss a few of them out at the beach. And the next one was really popular. It's going to be your Rapala Skitter Walker. Has really great movement. This is one that's in blue and silver. Really great color out on the beach. Kind of matches that minnow style, but works the same way as the Heddon Spook. Has really good walk the dog type motion. Really great topwater lure as well. So if you're going to go pick out some topwater lures that you're going to use on the beach, then you're going to want to either go with a Heddon Spook series in one of those variations of sizes, or the Rapala Skitter Walker. Next on the list when it comes to topwater lures are going to be your chug or popper style lures. And what I have shown here is your Heddon, again, chug and spook, and then a Yozuri popper. So these are both great lures. Again, I'll put the link to this in the description down below on where you can pick some of these up. But fantastic popping lures, really creates a big splash and noise that really excites the fish. I love fishing for that early in the mornings, especially on super calm days where I can toss it way out there and work it in slowly, popping it across the top. So this can really get fish excited. I have the Yozuri 3D popper in the black and silver, kind of the mullet color, I believe they call it. And then again, it's the chug and spook that's by Heddon in the bone color. I love this bone color. All right, another style lure that we really like to use out on the water, especially on those super slick days out on the beach, is going to be your torpedo style topwater lure. And this is the Berkley Chapo 105. And basically it's another torpedo style lure that's got this nice articulating tail that really spins around and creates a lot of noise and visual effects that really excite the fish in the water. So this is that Berkley Chapo 105 in the mullet color, I think they call it. great lure. Really excites the fish. We highly recommend. And again, I'm going to leave a link to the description, a link in the description down below where you can pick one of these up. So next we're going to talk about the different twitch baits that we like to use while surf fishing. And again, I have another video that I'll provide a link here and down in the description where we go into more detail about all the different types of twitch baits that we can use. But in general, our winners came down just to a couple, and that's going to be the Mirror Lure Catch 2000 in the 27 size. This is a blue and chartreuse mirror lure. Fantastic lure, has great movement in the surf. They've got a wide range of colors. Fish, I think, really love those red beady eyes and the kind of reflection that they see. So on those clear days, this really does really well for different type of Spanish mackerel. I've caught redfish. We've caught snook on this. Really fantastic lure. And it's got a good weight to it too, so you can really cast it a good ways out there and work a long way back in towards the surf. So the Mirror Lure Catch 2000, fantastic lure for surf fishing. That's in the twitch bait category. And then the other one I like to use is going to be, this is a larger one. Caught some good snook on this guy, but this is again your basically your Zuri 3D inshore jerkbait. So fantastic lure again by Zuri. Highly recommend it. And again, all these will be provided with recommendations on where to buy them in the description down below. The next type of artificial lure we're going to talk about are your spoons. And I personally love fishing with the spoon. As a matter of fact, most of the time that I have a rod rigged up, ready to go on my beach cart, it's got some sort of a spoon, and primarily it's got the Kastmaster spoon on there. I like to use the Kastmaster. This one right here is in the 3/4 ounce, but sometimes I'll toss anywhere from a 1/2 ounce to up to a 1 ounce spoon, depending on like the wind conditions and the wind direction and how far I need to cast it out. But I really like the 3/4 ounce Kastmaster spoon for most applications. And what I like about it is it's just so versatile. A lot of times you don't really know what's going to be swimming around or what kind of bait fish are going to be swimming around or what's going to be chasing those bait fish. But a spoon does a really good job of mimicking those minnows. And it's very easy to cast that guy out there, reel it in, and have some good activity on a spoon. So a really good lure to have, and pretty much a must-have when it comes to populating your tackle box for surf fishing using artificial. I have another video all about spoons and the types of spoons that we like to use across the board when saltwater fishing, but Kastmaster is definitely the top of the list. Love this lure. We have a couple other ones like this crocodile spoon. It's got a nice little red fleck on it, and I like these because they actually come with a J hook that you can replace with that treble hook. So if you know it from any of my other videos, we like to take off that treble hook for most of our artificial lures and replace them with like an inline hook or an inline J hook. And Crocodile has kind of done the job for you with pairing that up, and it comes with a nice J hook there. So check these guys out. Definitely recommend them as well. And then we have the Sea Striker, kind of big spoon that I like to use, Sea Striker. You can really chunk this. This is like a 2 ounce spoon that I like to toss way out there if I see bigger fish jumping off a good ways offshore. So I'll take my same surf rod and really stretch that one way out there into the deeper waters and then work that quickly back in. So all three great spoons. Again, I'm going to have descriptions to all of these spoons in the description down below, so be sure to check them out and pick yourself up some today. Next up on the list for our favorite types of lures to use with surf fishing are going to be your jigs. And what we like and we think the most versatile type of jig is going to be your bucktail jig. What I have shown here is a Spro Prime bucktail jig. I really recommend these guys. They come with fantastically sharp hooks, good colors, good weight, and kind of good design overall. I do really well with these lures out on the beach, but you know, I usually have in my tackle box several colors and several different sizes, anywhere from about the 1/4 ounce up to maybe a 3/4 ounce lure with these Prime bucktail jigs. Really the size depends mostly on the wind conditions that I have to fight through. So, you know, if they're a little bit stiffer winds, I'll pick that weight up a little bit more so I can cast it on out and retrieve it back in. But wouldn't go wrong with picking yourself up some variations of this Spro Prime bucktail jig, and it'll certainly put you on more fish from the beach. All right, now we're working our way into the different variations of soft plastics that I like to have on hand while I'm surf fishing. And to start off, since we kind of just got out of the jig heads and the bucktail jigs, I cannot go without talking about how useful and great a red jig head with a white bodied grub is going to be. Red and white is my favorite color pretty much for any of the application or any type of fishing that I do. If I'm not sure what to throw, I'm throwing a red and a white jig head, a red jig head and a white body. I also like to pick up, different colors like this chartreuse right here that does really good. A lot of different brands carry these grubs. I'll put links in the description down below on what we recommend, but DOA makes some good ones. Zoom makes some good ones. There really are a bunch of different types of these grubs that you can pick out. Has really good action in the water and really can target a lot of different fish. I've caught snook with this. I've caught redfish. I've caught flounder, speckled trout, Spanish mackerel, bluefish. You name it from the beach. I've landed something. I've landed one of them with this particular grub. So highly recommend you picking up some jig heads. I really like the DOA Cal jig heads. Again, I'll put a link in the description down below, and pair that with your favorite grub body, and you'll certainly do some damage. Next up in the soft plastic category is going to be your paddle tail shads, and I really like DOA's paddle tail shads here. They have a lot of different colors and variations to pick from. They have, I usually have a few in either like the 3-inch up to the 5-inch range, and what I like to pair these with from a hook perspective is going to be either the the DOA jig heads like I just mentioned before with the grub, or this Fusion 4-aught worm hook here. It's a weighted 4-aught worm hook in the 1/8 size. They do have other sizes here. I like to throw the 1/8 with these because these particular paddle tails have some weight to them as well, so I don't want to weigh them down too much, and I feel like the 1/8 size gives me the best action in the surf as it kind of dives down into the water after jerking it back up. So 1/8 Fusion, Berkeley Fusion worm hooks, and then these DOA paddle tail shads are great soft plastics for the beach. Next up is going to be your fluke style bait. So again, another great one from DOA is going to be your DOA jerk series fluke lures. They're basically just like the paddle tail lures I just showed, only they have that more straight line or forked tail at the back. And basically these give you that really good jerky, twitchy motion as it works through and you work it through the water column. So slightly different motion than the paddle tail, but still really, really good lure for beach fishing. And again, I will do the same thing, usually with these different flukes, because I want them to work in a particular way. Again, I will pair these with some sort of a weighted worm hook, such as these Fusion 1/8 ounce weighted worm hooks. And last, but certainly not least, is going to be your imitation shrimp. This is the DOA shrimp in like the red flake color. I also have, I think they call this one the ghost shrimp right here, but DOA makes a fantastic imitation shrimp, and I use this bait all the time. A lot of times I'll rig them up in like a Carolina rig type situation, but basically let them, the weight of the hook and the weights inside this lure dive down to the bottom and kind of bump them across the sand floor as I work them back to shore. But again, the DOA shrimp is a fantastic lure, and definitely recommend getting my 2 favorite colors are the ones I have shown right here. And again, I'll have the links in the description below, but a great lure that you definitely need in your tackle box if you're going to be doing any fishing with artificial on the beach. All right, that about wraps it up for us today. And I really hope that you got some really good and useful information from this video. Out of this, I hope that you're able to pick yourself up some artificial lures and head out to the beach and do some good work catching fish. If you did learn something and you do like this video, then I'd really appreciate it if you click that like button. And if you want to see more of what we have to offer, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can follow along. And until next time, tight lines, y'all.